Shatta's Voice of the Crown EP continues its dominance across every global digital streaming platforms, penetrating straight into the American, South American, European, and the Asian market, of which there was a business conversation about Shatta receiving a distribution deal worth over $2 million. But unfortunately, this deal seems to hit the rocks. Very painful one to the Shatta movement. And according to the explanations, seems no more happening, all because of the negative narration in the media about Shatta Wale buying a stolen Lamborghini. We all know after Shatta Wale's TikTok live addressing what transpired between himself and the EOCO, there was a press release from EOCO re-inviting Shatta Wale to their office either on the 12th or 13th of August. This was when Shatta made a Facebook post that the president has declared 3 days as national mourning because of the helicopter crash, of which ministers of states and members of parliament, together with some dignified personalities, lost their lives. So he might not attend to their invite. On Facebook, Shatta wrote, "As our honorable leaders crash and we are mourning for the country, Raymond, you still have that strong heart to let your boy Ajenim call my team to tell me you are inviting me where?" And the information we are gathering is that when Shatta attends the EOCO's invitation on either the 12th or 13th of August, he will be detained and would spend some days with them, similar to what happened to Chamaiwontumi. There's a full video explaining all these informations we are gathering. But before watching that video, around 5 p.m. yesterday, Shatta Wale's media and PR manager, Samuel Atobiba, popularly known as Samiflex, updated SM fans on Facebook. He wrote, "Damn, now these reports circulating online are disturbing business after this $2 million distribution deal of the Voice of the Crown EP fell out. I am getting worried, Charlie." Meaning there was a positive conversation about Shatta receiving a distribution deal worth over $2 million. But due to the conversations on social media about Shatta's yellow Lamborghini, EOCO and FBI, the deal seems hitting the rock. Shatta shared his PR and media manager Samit Flex post with the caption, "Say no more, boss. It pain we all, but God day. Stay strong. Hashtag God is here. Hashtag VOTEC will still fly no matter what man go do." Now let's make time to watch a full intel video from Wicked Blogger revealing the next move by the FBI when Shatta attends their invitation on either 12th or 13th of August. Let's make time to watch the full video.
We have told you before, and we will say it again. When Wicked Blogger Ghana gives you a report, it is not just talk. We do our homework, we speak to people who know the law, we cross-check with international contacts, and we deliver what others are afraid to say. Now, the day Shatta Wale walks into EOCO's office will not be business as usual. It will not be a quick hello, answer a few questions, and go home kind of situation. No. This is a high-stakes meeting that could shape the rest of his career and possibly his freedom, depending on how it plays out. For those who are still catching up, here's how it began. Shatta Wale has officially been invited to the Economic and Organized Crime Office. The likely date for this meeting is around the 12th of August, but as we know, legal schedules can change overnight. Still, the point is, it's happening. The main reason? A yellow Lamborghini Urus. This is not just any car. It is a statement on wheels. Loud, fast, flashy, and impossible to miss. The kind of car that turns heads, whether you love or hate the man driving it. And now, it's also the kind of car that has drawn the attention of the FBI. Let's get something straight. The FBI does not care about Ghanaian celebrities for no reason. They have bigger cases to deal with. But the moment an asset in Ghana is linked to an American fraud case, that asset becomes a US problem. That's where the cooperation between the Economic and Organized Crime Office and the FBI comes in. Through a mutual legal assistance MLA request made in 2023, the FBI asked Ghanaian authorities to seize the Lamborghini. According to their records, this car is part of the proceeds from a criminal operation run by Nana Kwabena Amoah, a Ghanaian who is already serving time in the United States for financial crimes. Nana Kwabena Amoah, 31 years old, is not a small-time player in the US. He was caught in a money laundering conspiracy that ran deep. Judge Karen Caldwell sentenced him to 86 months in federal prison and ordered him to pay over $4.7 million in restitution to his victims. From court records, Amoah worked with a co-defendant, Shimea MacDonald, to set up bank accounts under fake identities using stolen personal details from real people. These accounts were then used to collect money from fraud victims. Once the money landed, it was moved around through shell companies, wired across states, and split among co-conspirators. It was a well-oiled machine, and according to investigators, some of those stolen funds found their way into luxury assets, including the yellow Lamborghini, now at the center of Wale's legal headache. Economic and Organized Crime Office, EOCO Surveillance and Asset Recovery Units, led by seasoned officers, searched Wale's residence in Trasaco Valley Phase 1. This was not a raid with sirens and chaos. It was a quiet, professional operation. They located the Lamborghini, confirmed its identity, and seized it without drama. The interesting part? Wale didn't want the seizure made public. He knew the impact this could have on his shatta movement brand. For an artist whose image is built on power, wealth, and dominance, being seen as a man whose car is being taken away by crime investigators is devastating. Shatta Wale's image has always been tied to bold statements, whether through music, social media posts, or flashy lifestyle displays. The yellow Lamborghini Urus was more than just transport. It was a symbol. It was the car in music videos, Instagram posts, and public appearances. It told fans, I am on top of the game. Now, the very thing that was supposed to boost his brand could damage it beyond repair. Here's where it gets tricky. The FBI and the Economic and Organized Crime Office, EOCO, want answers to four main questions. How did Shatta Wale get the Lamborghini? How much did he pay for it? What was the source of that money? Where is the receipt or proof of purchase? If Shatta Wale cannot provide convincing answers and legitimate documentation, things could go bad fast. And according to what we've gathered, he bought the car from Kwabena Adu-Buahene, a former Director General of the National Signals Bureau, for about $120,000. The problem? There is no receipt. Kwabena Adu-Buahene's name is not new to Ghana's security circles. Once a top official, he has been linked to corruption and suspicious luxury car deals. Economic and Organized Crime Office, that EOCO, is using the Wale case to dig deeper into Buahene's activities. If they can tie the Lamborghini directly to Buahene and then connect Buahene to Amwa, they have a clear chain of evidence in a larger criminal investigation. This is why Shatta Wale's documentation, or lack thereof, is so important. If he produces a valid receipt showing a legitimate transaction, the Economic and Organized Crime Officer shifts focus entirely onto Buahene. If he cannot, he stays in the hot seat. Without proof of purchase, the investigation could take several turns. Short-term detention. He could be held for hours or days while the Economic and Organized Crime Office EOCO continues questioning. Longer custody. If they believe he's hiding something, they could push for a remand to give investigators more time. Asset forfeiture. The Lamborghini will not be returned to him. It will be processed and prepared for return to the US as part of Amwa's restitution. Why fans could make things worse. One thing lawyers have warned about is the reaction of the Shatta movement fans. If they flood the Economic and Organized Crime Office, EOCO headquarters in a show of support, it could backfire badly. Authorities could see it as an attempt to intimidate or disrupt the investigation. That could lead to higher bond amounts or even refusal of bail until tempers cool. Shatta Wale is not the first public figure to face this kind of heat. Hush Puppy flaunted luxury cars and lifestyle on Instagram until the FBI tracked his assets. He's now serving time in the US. Samini's associate had a Range Rover seized after it was linked to a European fraud case. The car was gone within months. Several have lost Lamborghinis and Bentleys after they were linked to fraud or drug proceeds, even if the rapper claimed to have bought them legitimately. The lesson? An image does not protect you from asset tracing. Once authorities link the item to a crime, it becomes evidence. How the day might play out. When Wale walks into EOCO registration, his arrival will be logged and he'll be escorted to an interview room. Formal interview. Investigators will ask structured questions, recording every answer. Evidence presentation. They may show him documents linking the Lamborghini to Amwa, cross-checking. They will compare his answers to known records. Decision point. Depending on his responses, they either let him go with instructions to provide documents or detain him. Our advice to Wale, If we were to advise Shatta Wale directly, and we are, here's what we would say. Go with your lawyer. Don't try to face the Economic and Organized Crime Office that alone. Carry all documents related to the Lamborghini, even bank transfer slips. Stay calm. No public drama, no social media rants during the process. Tell your fans to stay home. Showing up in numbers could make things worse. This is not just about one car. This is about Ghana's cooperation with international law enforcement. When the FBI makes a formal request, Ghana's authorities have to respond or risk damaging diplomatic and legal ties. Wale's case is now part of a much bigger picture that includes international fraud, asset recovery, and high-level corruption. We at Wicked Blogger Ghana will be watching this case closely. We've seen how these things play out, and we know the move the Economic and Organized Crime Office is likely to make. The Lamborghini may be gone for good, but how Wale handles this invitation could determine whether he walks out free or walks straight into a bigger legal mess. So, Shatta Wale, if you are listening, be ready. This is not a show. This is the real thing.